Few criminal cases have gripped the nation like the hunt for the Golden State Killer, a former police officer turned serial predator responsible for 13 murders and dozens of rapes and burglaries across California between 1974 and 1986.
Now the prosecutor who brought Joseph DeAngelo to justice, Sacramento District Attorney Thien is sharing the inside story in his new book. It's called The People versus the Golden State Killer. He's coming to Seattle for a book talk tomorrow at the Wing Museum. And Thien joins us now here on ARC Seattle. Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. Tell us more about your book and this really captivating case.
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be on the show. It's an honor. So Joseph DeAngelo, the Golden State Killer, killed 13 people, committed upwards of 50 sexual assaults, 121 burglaries in 11 different counties in California. He was a police officer during that period of time. He was the boogeyman. He would break into people's home and torture them for hours before leaving them either alive or dead. And if alive, they were broken from his crimes.
Thien, the crimes itself are just shocking. But in terms of what you included in your book, to you, what was the most shocking or emotional moment that you decided to include?
You know, the most shocking moment that I included in there was really the victims in terms of them finding their voices. For example, there was a victim who was only 15 at the time. He broke in, he sexually assaulted her, tortured her, tied her up. But in the book, we talk about her transformation from that moment where she was a victim to when she confronted him in the courtroom, staring him down. And another victim who was assaulted and raped in front of her 3-year-old son actually stood up in court and inched forward and looked at him, kept inching forward until she was a mere feet away from him in the courtroom confronting him. So we cover all the drama of the courtroom, but also how these survivors found their voices.
Speaking of that, survivors finding their voices, you chose to center these survivors in your story instead of the killer himself. Why was that perspective so important to you?
You know, Michelle McNamara wrote her best-selling book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, but she died before he was caught. Then Paul Hoes, who came up with this special technique to find him, wrote a book about the investigation. But my book covers the investigation, the capture, and the prosecution from the victim's perspective and the prosecutor's perspective. It's the third in the trilogy, and it allows victims to turn their tragedy into triumph.
I think it's an understatement to say that this case haunted California and really the nation for decades. For you, what was it like to see Joseph DeAngelo unmasked after so many years of fear and mystery there in California?
You know, there were things that we found out about him that was really revealing. When he was a child, he used to abuse animals. That's not a surprise to anybody. He witnessed his sister being sexually assaulted while he was held down. But then what happened was, as he grew older, he developed this almost God complex where he was a predator, but a predator of people. And for me to be in the courtroom, to bring him to justice, along with prosecutors from 6 different counties, it was an honor of a lifetime to give closure to victims that waited 40 years for justice.
And good on you and your team. So we mentioned you're coming to Seattle for a book talk. What do you hope readers take away from this story beyond the headlines and true crime fascination?
You know, it's really about the victims and survivors. A portion of the proceeds of the book goes to fund a nonprofit called Phyllis's Garden. Phyllis was the first sexual assault victim in Sacramento. And so we're here to support victims. And I'm here in town right now, and we're going to be doing a book talk tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Wing Museum, and just dive into some of the details about the case and really about the survivors.
Thien, I have to ask, since you're with us this morning, you know, we mentioned that you're the Sacramento District Attorney. What impact did this case have on you and your career and just the way that you approach the job that you're currently in?
You know, the job that I'm in is really about survivors and victims. They've had the very fabric and tapestry of their life ripped apart by crime. And some victims never saw another sunset, a sunrise, or an anniversary or a birthday. And so this is about them. And it really centers on victims. My job as the district attorney. Prosecutors see people at the worst moment of their lives. Either they're victims or they're defendants. We take in a lot of the darkness of the world. And this is an opportunity for us to shed light upon it.
Well, thank you so much for shedding light and giving those victims and survivors a voice. We appreciate you joining us on ARC Seattle today. I hope you enjoy your time here in the city, and good luck at your book talk tomorrow.
Thank you. Love Seattle.
Thank you.